Hey everyone, Scott here. Just wanted to go through a tutorial of Myfitnesspal today. So what we're going to do first and foremost, and just kind of before we get started, everything you can do on this is free. You don't have to pay for the premium version. I actually have been using the free version. I've never paid for anything on Myfitnesspal, but it's a great way to keep track of your calories and your macronutrients, your proteins, carbs, and fats, and fiber. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look at the nutrition here for a second, because what we're going to do is use this to put in your calorie intake. So if you notice here under the calories tab, if you look down at the bottom at your goal, my goal there says 2,090 calories per day. So I can click on that, and I can click on the number over here on the right hand side, and you can kind of adjust your calories to whatever it may be. So say if yours was 1,000 a day, you can do it and save that. And then you can kind of adjust the percentages of your daily carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, as long as it meets that 100% requirements per day, but you can play around with it to meet your protein needs if need be. I'm going to go back to the 2,090 calories, which I've been doing every day. And you notice my carbohydrates are about 50%, protein about 25%, and then fat about 25% per day as well. So I've been hovering around that. So you notice too, you can focus on you can look at your calorie intake. You can look at your daily nutrients like your fiber, your sugars, your fat intake, your carbohydrates, your protein. And if you scroll down, it can show you your potassium, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron intake as well, which is really nice to see. And then also you can play around with your macronutrients as well. But we're going to go back. What we're going to do is go back, hit the home button here. And what I'm going to do is I can just click on up here at the top where the calories remaining, and that'll open up my diary. So when I open up my diary, if you scroll down, you can notice the breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. So during the day, what you can do is you can add food in. So you just click on the add food button. And notice here it's kind of auto-populated a bunch of food that I've been using, or foods I've used in the past. So it's easy if I'm ever looking for something, I can just either scroll down or type it up here. So say if I was going to eat some frozen yogurt, that'll bring up the frozen yogurt that I've been eating. Or if I was going to use protein powder, I can put in protein, and it's gone through some different variations of protein I've used in the past as well. And then I'm going to go back, but say if you were to add food, what it'll do is, so say if I was going to have some multigrain bread, I had 3 slices. So if I add that to the day, then it'll take away those calories from my daily intake, right? Whatever you do, one actually recommendation I'm actually going to say is, see where it says exercise on the top there next to the calories? Don't worry about the calories you burn from exercise. Just focus on your goal. So see, my goal there is 2,090. I'm just going to focus on my daily calorie intake coming from that. Don't think that just because of exercise I can add an extra 200 or 300 calories, say, to my daily intake. Just focus on your overall goal that you've gotten from your calculations, right? So say if your goal was 1,400 calories a day and you exercise and it added 300 calories to your daily intake. Don't add that extra 300 calories to your daily nutrition intake. Just focus on that original goal of 1,400 calories. Now, also, the one thing to make this really easy is, so say if I wanted to add food to the day, I can use this in the top right-hand corner. You see the little barcode thing. I can open that up. And what I can do is, say if I had some food here, there's a barcode on the package of food, or my protein or whatever. What it'll do is I can scan that, and it'll auto-populate the food for me. So it'll auto-populate what it says on the nutrition label for that food group, or that whatever you're inputting, and which makes it really easy to enter foods, so you don't have to try to mess around trying to figure it out on your own. It's just easy peasy as long as you use the barcode scanner, right? And then during the day, you can focus on, you notice it says breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Normally you have your 3 meals, you might have 1 snack. That's good enough. You don't need to eat like 6, 7, or 8 meals a day. It's not really necessary. And for the sake of this, we want to focus on you want to have some time between your meals as well when you're eating. Give your body time to digest food, so you don't need to constantly be eating all day. Typically 3 meals is good enough, and maybe if you have some kind of snack during the day, that's fine. And you can also add whatever you've done with exercise. So say circuit training, I can add, and then see if you notices calories burned 224. And what it does is, oh, I'm going to go out of that for a second. It added calories from my exercise. So I'm not going to bother. I don't bother with those 224 calories. I still stick to that original goal that I had of 2,090 calories. So I can actually just take that off really quickly. But if you notice, you can add your water in as well. You can go down here to nutrition, and it'll show you, as you add your food in day, it'll show you how many grams of carbohydrates you've had, how many grams of fat you had, how many grams of protein you've had, and then it'll tally up your nutrients as well. And it's just a really convenient tool of keeping track of everything, and it makes it really easy, right? So the reason I say this is because literally when I use this, it takes me about 2 minutes a day, and it makes this whole process way easier, right? Because if I'm tracking what I'm doing, I can just do it really quickly. It becomes a habit, works really well, and it takes that stress away. So say if you were to eat something like, say I had some frozen yogurt, for example. So I'm going to add that in. I had a cup of frozen yogurt. So I had those calories from the frozen yogurt. That's 260 calories. I know then I'm not going to stress out because I ate something that's considered, some people consider junk food. I know that that's just 260 calories from my daily total. As long as I stay within my daily total, or roughly around that area, I'll be fine, and just trust the process, right? So just understand that. It's just kind of, what this does, it provides a little bit more flexibility